Most people think that making serious money in sports betting means going all in on parlays or hoping for that once-in-a-lifetime streak. But here's the truth. With the right skills, you don't need parlays or blind luck to turn a profit in this game. If you've got a methodical approach and a little patience, reaching 100K in sports betting is absolutely within your reach. No need for risky all-or-nothing bets. Now let me break it down for you using the skills that got me and many others there. Let's start with the cold hard truth. 95% of sports bettors lose money because they're chasing easy wins with parlays and other high-risk bets. Studies show that sportsbooks profit heavily off these types of bets, precisely because the odds are stacked against you. On the other hand, skilled sports bettors, those who focus on individual bets, data, and discipline, consistently win between 60 to 70% of their wagers month in and month out. And that's where the real money lies. I know this because I've lived it. By focusing on single, well-researched bets and applying a repeatable, consistent strategy, I've been able to grow my bankroll month after month without ever touching parlays. Now, this approach isn't flashy, but it works, and I'm not the only one who can do it. It's all about mastering a few essential skills and knowing how to leverage them. The beauty of this strategy is its simplicity. No guessing, no risking it all on a lucky streak. Just pure, steady profit. Now, imagine making 100K in a year without relying on anything but solid straight bets. You don't need to spend all day crunching numbers, and you certainly don't need to risk everything on a parlay. The promise here is simple. By following a disciplined, data-driven approach, you can win 60 to 70% of your bets month in and month out, with less than an hour a day of research. When you win at this rate and reinvest smartly, your bankroll doesn't just grow, it compounds, and compounding growth is the real secret to hitting that 100K mark. This isn't about betting on every single game or placing wild bets. It's about understanding how to spot value, manage your bankroll, and let the numbers do the work. With this approach, every win is part of a bigger plan, and every dollar that you earn works towards bringing you closer to that 100K goal. Now let's get to the plan of how you're gonna make 100K in reality. Here are the only skills that you need to get there, and guess what? No parlays are required. Let's start with the first one, mastering bankroll management. Bankroll management isn't just a nice idea. It's the backbone of consistent winning. If you're not managing your bankroll, you're gambling and not betting. So here's how I do it. I keep each bet between 1 and 3% of my bankroll. This way, even on a losing streak, I'm not getting wiped out. It also gives me room to place bets consistently without the emotional ups and downs. Once you know how much you're betting, you're free to focus on what really matters, finding the right bets. Managing your bankroll is like laying the foundation to a house. It keeps everything stable. Now let's get to number 2, how to identify value and not just bet on favorites. Value is king in sports betting. Betting on the favorite might seem like a sure thing all the time, but in reality, sportsbooks know how to play with those odds to squeeze out every last dollar from casual bettors. Instead, I look for teams or players that are undervalued. If you can spot value, odds that don't accurately reflect the true probability of an outcome, you're ahead of 90% of sports bettors. For instance, if you know that a particular team has a strong record in away games, but the odds don't reflect this, that's a value bet. These hidden gems are what keep your win rate high without the high risk, and spotting them is a skill that you can hone in with a little practice. Now let's get to number 3, keeping your research short and focused. Now what's the secret behind that? You don't need hours of research. You need smart, targeted analysis. I focus on 3 main factors: recent form, injuries, and matchups. By honing in on these essentials, I avoid information overload. For example, checking recent performance gives me an idea of how a team or a player is doing right now, not in years past. Also, pay attention to injuries. They are key. And also make sure you're looking at the matchups at hand for that day. That's where you see how one team's strengths lines up against another's weaknesses. This approach keeps my daily research under an hour, so I can place smart bets quickly and confidently. Now let's talk about number 4, trusting the process. One of the hardest skills to master when it comes to sports betting is staying consistent. Even when the wins aren't rolling in, there will be losses. It's part of the game. But if you trust the system, those losses won't derail you. Chasing losses is a classic rookie mistake. If you're confident in your research, your win rate will keep you in the green over time. Stick to your game plan, stay calm, and don't fall for the revenge betting. Staying consistent is how you build wealth over time. Now let's talk about number 5, tracking and analyzing every single bet. Data is your best friend in sports betting. Keeping track of every bet you make, the wins, the losses, the types of bets, even the research that you used is essential. This allows you to see what's working and what's not. Adjust your approach and also be able to refine your strategy. Winning bettors treat their bets like a business. They analyze, adapt, and improve. Over time, this habit alone can elevate your win rate and make a huge difference in your profits. So your 100K roadmap starts here. These 5 skills are all you need to start growing your bankroll like a pro. Forget the hype around parlays and miracle bets. This is the real path to steady, substantial gains. By focusing on single bets, maintaining discipline, and honing your ability to spot value, you're setting yourself up for a consistent 60 to 70% win rate, a sweet spot that most sports bettors only dream of. And this is how you hit that 100K mark without a single lucky break. Follow this roadmap, master these skills, and you'll find yourself well on your way to consistent profits and a winning edge.